Доброго времени суток, приветствую вас на канале Галактика Геймеров. Мы продолжаем проходить игру Vampyr. Итак, сегодня нам предстоит добраться до шантажиста и решить этот вопрос. И заодно по дороге посмотрим, что мы сможем сделать по имеющимся у нас расследованиям. Смотри, ребята уже подросли. В уровнях. Ах ты, собака такая. Так, надо бы его отвести подальше. А то это опасно. Зараза, у меня ж пистолет стоит. Ладно, сейчас разберусь с этим. Не попал, лошара. Да чтоб тебе. Странно, что он на ближний бой не перешел. Ну да ладно. Уже перекрыли? Так, а здесь-то у нас тупик получается, да? Придется в обход. А, так, точно. Я же еще не посмотрел, что у нас на трупах есть. А, пусть живет пока. Бронхит, анемия, сепсис, пневмония. Ладно, клепать будем по мере надобности. Как ты в меня попал-то? Да твою мать, ворачивайся. Да ты прямо этот самый Супермен. Сквозь стены-то ходить. Ну, по меньшей мере, мутант какой-то. Вот и не попал. Так, нет, слишком долго и опасно. И сюда. Да чтоб тебе. Нахер, короче. Готов. Как-то я с них больше трачу, чем получаю. Так, тут вроде тишина. Сука, не хватает выносливости. Ладно, хер с ним. Ладно, не ожидал, как будто первый раз. Ну-ка иди сюда, блядь. Так, в некоторых случаях кол-то поудобнее будет. Поставим пока. Как второе оружие. В принципе, опасности они не представляют, особенно по одному. Вот уже в который раз повторяюсь. Охотнички те еще. У него тут буквально за спиной зверюга стоит, и он на нее не реагирует. Резвые стали. Кого он тут грыз? А, охотника и грыз.
I cannot enter.
Заперто пока, ну ладно.
It's locked, all right.
Так, и тут перекрыт. Значит, придется в обход. Так, а кто там рычит?
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Сейчас поищем. Так, вот отсюда можно будет осмотреться. Вот это и есть. Похоже, что не охотники. И это еще что такое?
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. No one can help me. Not even you.
И в чем ж тогда дело?
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just failed me last nerve.
Все бы поэтому стреляли.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Ну ладно, посмотрим.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Ясненько. Значит, с тех пор ты бухаешь и палишь в сына.
From the Pembroke Hospital. Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Угу. Подпольная амбулатория. Это ж так, да?
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Что ж, пойдем потрещим с его сыночком для начала, а потом будем думать, что делать с письмом.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Ишь ты какой.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Goodbye, young man.
Ишь ты.
I'm not dying some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Так, ну-ка, Палмер, погоди-ка.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reid.
Так, посмотрим, смогу ли я его сейчас... А, не смогу, у меня от мигрени средств нет с собой.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. Coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Ну, по-хорошему туда, конечно, не делается. Хотя черт его знает, что он там на самом деле делал.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pill will stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Ага.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Так, по сути, я еще много чего о них не знаю. Я думаю, что пока отдавать письмо рановато, надо бы разузнать, что к чему, никуда они не денутся.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reid, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Коллегу, она врач? Ага, здесь пока все закрыто.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Да?
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Разберемся.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Почему мошенничество? Потому что ты свои лекарства продаешь, а она отдает за так? Так.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Смотрим, что у нее есть. О! Вот у нее как раз уже есть довольно много того, что мне нужно. Исследуем его. И посмотрим, из чего этот бальзам сделан.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid from the Pembroke.
Doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say, a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Да. И что же мне за это будет?
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Ha! Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
Стандартный бездушный барыга.
What is your business exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
In other words, you take advantage of these poor lost souls.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Может, в чем-то он и прав.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reid, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
Но деньги-то мне действительно без особой надобности.
I've no interest in money. Perhaps one night I will visit you and take what I require. If that should happen, there will be no need for a middleman.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reid tonic could have really helped people, you know, saved lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that swamper's shit.
Кстати, что за дрянь они берут, мы еще изучим.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
Опять же, в чем-то дядька прав.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
Что ж, ладно, с этим все понятно. Интересует личная выгода. Ну, в принципе, логично, да, в таком месте, в таком районе, в таких условиях, в такой ситуации. Хотя он сам болеет простудой при этом. Так, а у меня от простуды-то есть или нету? Ну-ка, иди-ка сюда, дядька.
Evening, doctor.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
А говорил, не болеет, а болеть не собирается. Пиздобол.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this in any case.
What? Give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Иди уже,
Mr. Bates.
барыга. Так, ладно, займемся тем, зачем сюда пришли.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Да, сдается мне, что пиздобол он тот еще не знает Дороти Крейн. Ну да, и куда же он побежал, интересно знать.
Strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Угу. Что у него какие-то свои секреты.
They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Так. Найти журналиста. Вообще, по идее, поговорить надо и с тем, и с другим. Да пошел к черту. Ты тут один? Ну, сейчас получше пиздюлей. А, ни хрена не один. Бляха-муха. Да ладно, не хватило, что ли? Погодите, ребятишки, сейчас еще. Так, один огреб. Ах ты ж падла, а! Я не пойму, что ты вообще решил, что я лич? С того, что я тебе мечом укладываю? А вот с тебя, дядя, мы и подлечимся. Главное, чтобы он пережил. Все эти удары. Да, не шибко много он пережил. Ну ладно. Уже что-то. Кошмар. Вроде доктора ведет себя как гопник. Режет людей на улице и чистит их карманы. Так, кто-то где-то рычит, причем поблизости. Ага, значит, зона под карантином. Ладно. Мы туда заглянем, но потом. И здесь тоже пока перекрыто. Я уверен, что это только пока, ну да ладно. Может, крыса, а может и не крыса. Скали. Ну иди сюда, чё рычишь? Вот тварь, допрыгнул-таки. Моя очередь. Странно, почему уровни настолько разные. Один случайный, другой сюжетный. Так, твою мать. Так, один готов. Так, ладно, нормально, хватит. Теперь можно и убить. Готов. Кого это они тут грызли? Охотника? Что же за лошары-то эти охотники? Кошмар. Все подряд убивают, грызут, все кому не лень. О, еще парочка скалей. Да ладно, ты ж помер уже. Что за новости? Неубиваемые скали? Так, похоже, что там кто-то есть еще. Да ладно, топор. Ну, с уроном 65 маловато, конечно. Опять животина здоровая. Так, не, подождите. Да еб твою налево. Так-то вроде слабенькие, бьют мощно. Ладно, не будут светиться раньше времени. Еще одна зверюга. Вообще наличие этих зверюг в районах ничего хорошего не дает. Надо бы перебить бот. Да фу ты, блин. Давай, давай, идите. О, это еще что такое? Я не знаю, что это за дрянь, но ничего хорошего явно ждать не стоит. О, да, травит, причем травит довольно сильно. Ух ты, мощный какой, а. Так, и... Да твою мать! Что ж я все кнопки-то путаю. Так, действительно недолго и подохнуть. Так, по-моему, у меня что-то было. На случай такой. Да сдохни ты уже. Так, -1. Второй убежал. Дружище, надо было добивать сразу. Ладно, умри уже. Так, где я там зверюшку-то видел? А, по той стороне. Ладно, его слишком долго станить. Готов. Какой-то обход. Ладно, потом поглядим. Ну,
Not
да, это
exactly
такое.
a treasure chest. A battered box, some knickknacks, and a letter.
Что там за письмо? Надо поглядеть. Переутомление и мигрень надо будет сделать потом. Ладно, где у меня? Джейн Питерсон.
A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Сперва разобраться в ситуации получше. А потом уже кому-то что-то отдавать.
The other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
А в чем же дело?
Barrett, you had an affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. It's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Вполне возможно, как ты хотел-то.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Мародерствует, значит.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Значит, еще что-то.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Ладно, надо бы для начала поговорить с этим Джо.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reid, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Ну, ему и сына кормить надо. Все дела. Сейчас, с другой стороны, грабить народ, который и так уже бедный. Вполне мог бы и не вступать. Хотя, если в таком случае они бы на него напали. Ну, я думаю, да.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons. And that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
May I ask what you do around here?
I'll do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Ну, по всему выходит, не такой уж он и козел.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Глянь, что у него есть.
Show me what you have.
О, а есть у него много чего. Надо учесть.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Ну, отдавать коробку рано.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer. Good one, even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Ну, я так думаю, что повернулся малость именно на смерти жены.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Они, значит, просто боятся.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Так. Итого, что же мы имеем из нашего мини-расследования? Так, елки-палки. По-хорошему-то, конечно, коробочку бы, по совести, так сказать, коробочку бы надо отдать Джо. Но он тогда просто убьет Льюиса.
It's hard to believe, but this district has always...
Ладно, я не думаю, что стоит рисковать.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? I found this box in an abandoned building nearby. I believe it belongs to you.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is mine. So, you faced those loons that roam around there. Extraordinary.
I suppose I was lucky.
Luck is a commodity round here. Yours should be properly rewarded.
About this package, it's not just tools and trinkets, is it?
I want to be rude or anything after your kind gesture, but it's none of your business.
Так, ну, с подсказок
Goodbye
ничего.
for now, Mr. Lewis.
Вот и журналист.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Так, он знает Рида, уже хорошо.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Весь из себя преданный делу. Ну, говорят, это довольно распространено.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Значит, просто зарабатывает на жизнь как может.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Откровенно говоря, это не просто эпидемия.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
О, дружище, намного хуже, намного хуже.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Логично.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Точно, он же его не пустил. Но сказать ему напрямую что-то... Если скажу, что это закрытая информация, скорее всего, и он отреагирует подобным образом. И если сказать, что медсестра идет против закона, журналюгу может раздуть это дело.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Нету?
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Что ж, значит, поговорим и с ним.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Выбросил письмо.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
А вот заглянуть в ближайший почтовый ящик. И в мусорку тоже. Так, тут нету никого. Так, ящик какой-то, надо глянуть. А, хрен я гляну, дверь-то закрыта. А попасть туда как-то по-другому. Нет, никак, да? Ладно, возможно, попозже.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who
meet a girl in the street at night, it reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Немая, что ли?
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being me, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispenser.
Даже...
A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Что она тебе расскажет, если она не может говорить?
Very well. Goodbye.
Так, здесь закрыто. Здесь охотнички. Так, ну-ка. Собственно говоря... За церковь-то я здесь не попаду. Значит, надо...
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Как же, детей у него нету, ну-ну. Так, надо было у священника спросить, может он знает что-нибудь, в том числе и про этого поэта.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Это еще интересно, почему?
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Ну, расскажи, допустим.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Угу. Старик-то знает больше, чем можно было бы подумать.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us, but not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Предлагает спалить весь город?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings, the corpses, worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Поэтому надо спалить город? Да, мужик, да ты логичный. Очень логичный.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost?
All scientists
Quite a...
tell you.
Well,
As a doctor,
what do you mean?
the beast. We must
What is left?
cleanse.
Так,
What do you mean?
All
Quite a
scientists tell you.
что он может сказать еще? Хотя,
I am.
а ничего он уже не скажет, да?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Куда он его отправил?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Старик, да ты полоумный. Ты прекрасно знаешь о том, что по городу по ночам шныряют вампиры, и отправляешь своего ученика на кладбище?
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Другими словами, ты отправил его на смерть. Молодец, блядь. Ладно, хорошо, а медсестре он что знает?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that nurse Crane you mentioned.
Это еще почему?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Коммунистка в своей стране, то есть она не местная.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Это как посмотреть.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Ладно, давай, старик. Шизанутый, блядь. Знает, что кругом шныряют вампиры, отправляет своего ученика на кладбище. О, нормально так по сути дралось. Что ты резвый какой, а? Так, лечусь, но мало. Да твою же мать, а. Да сдохни ты уже, короче. Это так с них больше урона, чем лечение. Опять объявление. Карантинная зона.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Отлично, нашелся.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives, how she survives, whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Вот уж точно, поэт.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Романтик недоделанный.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Да они тут все поехавшие.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reid.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Да, встретишь ты тут незнакомцев.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposures.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Еще один маньяк.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Еще один год. Ребята, да.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Значит, и этот тоже коммунист.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Угу. Что-то он таки обращался к издателю.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Ясненько. Все с ним. Значит, сынок богатых родителей, шатающийся по ночам непонятно где. Ладно, я думаю, пора уже навестить этого Дариуса. Значит, охотники здесь все-таки были. Но, как обычно, не пережили встречу. Какой от них вообще толк от этих охотников, я не понимаю. Так, а все ли я знаю об этом Дариусе-то, прежде чем к нему идти? Да, в общем-то говоря, все.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Potter.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Так, осмотреться-то не помешает. Зашел такой, обнес хату. Ну, что делать?
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Чем же тогда он здесь занимается? На кой хрен нужна вся эта пропаганда, если сам себя он считает уже покойником, по сути?
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reid. I appreciate your trust.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reid.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. But I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Революционер.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Так, минутку.
Tell me everything.
Ладно, о стихах.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Так, а что же он еще? Такое ощущение, что он еще что-то знает.
Are you in love with Camellia?
Don't be stupid.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Что ж, значит, где-то что-то не прокатило. Ну да ладно. Че ее искать-то, эту дорогу? Вот она. Ну-ка, ну-ка, что за письмецо? А, письмо от сестры.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Sculp! Hand me that sculp!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Так-то, ну так, ну что она предлагает?
Right then, that's great. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
По-моему, он обращается.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Кардиомассаж, ну даст ли он что-нибудь? Если попробовать адреналином.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Какой к черту образец? Кругом антисанитария.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reid?
The risks you've taken for your friends in Whitechapel are criminal, and you can pay dearly for them.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Ну, делала-то она это все вроде как с благородных побуждений.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reid! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
А, зараза. Ну да ладно, впрочем. Не суть важно. Что за грохот был? Что это еще такое? Охотники. Они-то что тут забыли? Сволочи. Так, и если все эти люди трупы, получается, что они все были заражены? Именно что этим делом? Так, ящик заперт, ладно. Да пошел ты. Живучие какие, а? Так. Ну, двое из них это же по-любому перебор. Так, открыли еще одни ворота. Это хорошо.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reid. Come on in.
Так, надо глянуть, что у него чего осталось. Нет, не осталось. Ну тогда, в общем, все. Здесь больше делать нечего. И вопрос мы решили. Что ж. Значит, вопрос с шантажистом решен. Здесь, в общем-то, в районе Уайтчепела осталось еще довольно много расследований, которые надо бы провести. Но заниматься этими расследованиями мы будем уже в следующий раз. А пока до встречи. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал. Пока.